There are three main ways of gathering media material to use in your project: capturing video clips from a digital video tape recorder or VTR, such as a mini DV camcorder, transferring video clips from a memory card or hard drive camcorder, and importing files such as music tracks, other video files, and image files. First, let's capture some footage from a mini DV camcorder using the Log and Capture window. In order to use the Log and Capture window, we'll need to have a camcorder or video deck with a tape of recorded material in it. It needs to be connected to the Mac, powered on, and set to playback mode. To open the Log and Capture window, go to the File heading in the menu bar and select Log and Capture. As the Log and Capture window opens, you may get a warning sign if your camcorder is not properly connected, but we can fix this in a second if we need to. In the Log and Capture window, first take a look at the area just below the main video display on the left half of the window. In the light gray area, there should be a set of navigation buttons, such as play, stop, fast forward, and rewind. Just below this, in the darker gray area, there should be a status indicator that should read VTR OK. If you're missing the navigation controls and the status indicator reads no communication, then you should check your camcorder or VTR power and cable connections. After you've checked the connections, you can go to the View heading in the menu bar, then the External Video submenu, and select Refresh AV Devices to have Final Cut attempt to connect to your camcorder again. If you're still not getting a connection to your FireWire camcorder, close the Log and Capture window, then go to the Final Cut Pro heading in the menu bar and open the Easy Setup window. Make sure that the setup matches your particular camera, or Final Cut won't recognize it. Once you've got the Log and Capture window open and it says VTR OK in the status indicator area, let's take a quick look at the different areas of the Log and Capture window. On the left half of the window, we see the main video display area, and just above that there is scratch disk space information, such as how much free space is left on the scratch disk and what that equals in terms of audio and video time. Off to the sides there are time fields indicating clip duration and current playhead position based on the tape's timecode. The timecode is the timing information embedded on the videotape when it's recorded, and it's what Final Cut uses to locate a particular point on a tape. A blank videotape has no timecode on it, and if you have a videotape that you've recorded that has blank areas on it, such as when you've reviewed a shot after recording it, then fast forward it a little for the next shot, it can cause timecode breaks that may interfere with Final Cut's ability to navigate smoothly through a tape. Timecode is displayed in the format of hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. In the US, our video runs at roughly 30 frames per second, so 29 is the highest number you'll see in the frames portion of the timecode. Below the main video display area, we see the navigation controls that are used to control your camcorder. There are buttons for play, fast forward, stop, and rewind, as well as a shuttle control and a jog wheel. Now let's take a look at the right half of the window. There are three tabs near the top labeled Logging, Clip Settings, and Capture Settings. Click on the Capture Settings tab and you can see the device control settings, which indicate what type of camcorder connection you're using. FireWire NTSC should be displayed for US mini DV camcorders. Just below this is the Capture Input setting, which should read DV NTSC 48 kHz. Just below this you'll see a button for scratch disks, which is yet another way of checking your scratch disk settings and making sure that all the video you capture is getting stored in the correct place. Now let's look at the Clip Settings tab. Here you can choose to capture just video, just audio, or both, depending on which checkboxes are selected. Okay, let's go back to the Logging tab, which is the main tab you'll be working with as you capture footage from your camcorder. In the Logging tab, there are several input fields for labeling the clips you're capturing. The Reel field is used to identify a particular tape. If you've got a project that contains material from several different videotapes, you may want to identify each tape by a separate unique number or name. The Description field is the most important of the input fields, as this is the place where you'll enter a name for your clip. If you don't enter a name, the clip will be called Untitled Clip 1, 2, 3, and so on, which isn't very helpful in identifying one clip from another. There are other fields for entering other optional descriptions, such as scene, shot and take, angle, and other notes. At the bottom right of the log and capture window, there are several buttons: a log clip button and 3 buttons for different ways of capturing footage. For now, we're only going to be using the Capture Now button. Final Cut can do more advanced automated capturing using the Batch Capture button, but this only works if you have a tape with no timecode breaks on it. Capturing a video clip requires 4 steps. Name the clip, play the clip, press Capture Now, then hit the Escape button on the upper left of your keyboard. Okay, let me find the first clip that I want to capture. I'll use the navigation controls to search through my tape and then find a good starting point. I always like to make sure I capture a little more than I need, since I can trim it down later in editing. It's better to have a little more than you need for each clip, rather than not having enough. Once I find the beginning of the clip, I'll back up a little before I start the 4 steps. First, I'll choose a name for the clip. Then, I'll play the clip by hitting the play button or pressing the spacebar on the keyboard. Then, I click the Capture Now button. A video window appears as Final Cut captures the clip, and at the bottom of the window it says, "Now capturing, press Escape to stop." When I've reached the end of what I want to capture, I hit Escape on the keyboard, and now the clip that I've just captured appears in my browser window. I can keep capturing clips from this tape using the 4 steps: name it, play it, capture now, and escape. Now let's look at getting some video material from a hard drive or memory card camcorder. These camcorders will probably connect via a USB cable, although some may use FireWire. When your hard drive or memory card camcorder is connected properly, it will show up on the desktop of your Mac. To transfer files from the camcorder hard drive or memory card, we'll need to open up the Log and Transfer window by going to the File menu on the menu bar and selecting Log and Transfer. When the Log and Transfer window opens, you'll see a list of all the clip files from your camcorder in the top right of the window. You can click on any clip to preview it in the video display area on the left. If you only want to transfer a particular portion of a clip file, you can set in and out points using the buttons just below the video display area, or you can use the keyboard shortcuts I for in point and O for out point. In the lower left of the Log and Transfer window, you have various fields for entering logging information for each clip you've selected. It would be a good idea to name the clip in the Clip Name field, or else you'll have clips with long time, date, and file numbers that aren't really helpful in quickly identifying a clip. Once you've selected which clips you'd like to transfer and given each an appropriate name, you can add the selections to the queue, and Final Cut will begin the transfer process. As each clip is transferred to your scratch disk, it will appear in your browser window and will be available to use in your editing project. Importing files is one of the easiest ways of getting material into your project, but if done incorrectly, it can lead to a lot of headaches. The main thing to remember when importing files is to first copy the files to your scratch disk before importing them. As an example, let's look at importing a music track from an audio CD. First, we'll hide Final Cut, then look for the inserted CD on the desktop. I'll select a file, then make a copy of it on my scratch disk by dragging and dropping it. Once the file is copied, I'll eject the CD and then go back to Final Cut, and in the File menu choose Import Files. I then find the copy of the audio track that's on my scratch disk, then click Choose from the Import window. The file will then show up in my browser window and be available for use in my project. It's extremely important when importing files that you first copy them to your scratch disk. Otherwise, when you eject the CD, flash drive, or thumb drive, the files will disappear from your project and their icon in the browser will have a red slash through it, indicating it is offline.